it's Jordan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going over concert hacks, how to meet your favorite artist or celebrity, and just in general, how to finesse the system, but in the most legal and not bad way possible, if that makes sense. So I wrote down a bunch of stuff on my phone, and it's just like bullet points of just stuff that I do to get to concerts and how I meet everyone that I've met so far. I'm gonna put pictures throughout this whole video of who I've met and how I've met them, and I'm just gonna give a brief explanation because I could literally talk for hours about how I've met certain people. Like, the stories that I have are crazy. The first hack that I have, or tip, I guess you could call it. Why? Okay, hold on. Goodbye. Anyways, the first tip that I have is to get there. So regardless of how you get there, the step is to literally just get there. So you could get nosebleed seats. You can wait till last minute and buy your tickets last minute because they usually are super cheap because people who are trying to sell tickets lower the price to their tickets so that you can buy them. So if you want to risk it, you can wait till last minute. You could just buy nosebleeds and just dedicate the entire day to trying to meet them, because it doesn't matter what seat you have. If you don't have meet and greets, regardless of where you're sitting, you have the same amount of chance if you just follow these tips. You can win on radio stations, which I've done a lot. It's just an easy way to win tickets, to win meet and greets, to secure a spot, and to secure a meet and greet. It's just something that I find fun and interesting. I love competition and just like trying to meet famous people. I'm like, yes, I'm going to fight you to meet this person. The second one is to get there early. So usually arenas have areas where tour buses park, where artists will come out of their tour bus and they'll come up to people that are waiting around and just say hi to them or like take a picture with them, which I've met a lot of people that way. So yeah, get there early. That's the best advice. Honestly, that's probably my #1 tip and how I've met so many people. Every event that I go to, I get there early. Usually because artists will hang out in the general area within like 5 miles because they have to be to like sound check early. They have to make sure they're there on time, so they'll eat at the Hooters, which is how I met Jake Owen. If you have general admission passes, definitely get there early. There are crazy people out there like me. I've literally waited in line 9 hours in the rain, general admission to a Big Time Rush concert. So the third one that I have is to follow celebrities or the person that you're seeing on social media. Turn on their post notifications, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. I usually do Instagram, Twitter, and then I'll check their Snapchat every once in a while because I don't think they do notifications yet. But this is a great way to find out like where they are in the least creepiest way possible, because if they're posting on their Instagram that they're at a restaurant, obviously they know there's crazy people out there that will find out where they are and go. And I know some girl who went to a concert, Jingle Ball, with me. She didn't go with me, but I met her there, and she met Shawn Mendes and showed me like pictures because he posted a picture at a restaurant and she saw it on his story, and so she rushed there and met him because she saw it on a story. So that's a great way to meet people. Turn on your notifications. Even if they're just tweeting like, oh, see you tonight, you can just like engage with them, just know what they're doing throughout the day that you see them. It's just a great way to find out where they are, what they're doing, all that fun stuff. This is the one tip that I always tell people and they look at me like you're like crazy, which is not crazy, but I believe in speaking things into existence. So if you are going to a concert and you believe that you'll have a good chance of meeting someone, even if you don't think you have a good chance, literally speak it into existence. I do this all the time. If I'm at a concert, I'll literally say like, I am going to meet this person. I did this with Tish Cyrus, which is the mom of the Cyrus kids. I was like, I'm going to meet Tish Cyrus tonight. And sure enough, I literally met her in the back of the crowd at Noah's concert. And so another time when I did this is I prayed with my friends. We stopped in front of Starbucks. So I stood in front of the Starbucks entrance with my friends. We all held hands and we prayed about meeting Noah. And so that night I met her. She came up to me after the concert. I knew like the whole area. I knew where she was gonna like leave and how she was gonna walk out, and I stood there and I waited for her, and I saw her walking out and I was like, Noah, and she ran up to me and hugged me and was like, oh my God, hey. She knew me because I go to her concerts every time she comes here, and I always message her. I've met her the first time, so this was the second time I met her, so I guess she remembered me. I got a picture with Noah and I prayed, so I believe that's honestly how I met her. Speak it into existence, pray, just believe that it'll happen. So when it comes to radio stations, usually to win radio station things, from concerts to meet and greets to events, you have to call in usually and be a certain number caller. So if they say caller number 10, you want to be caller number 10. Sometimes you can call in multiple times and be caller number 2 and then 4 and then be 10. It's always different and it's random, and I guess you have to have a lot of luck when it comes to that stuff. But usually what I do is I'll put notifications on for radio stations, and usually they'll tweet out contests. So if they say, oh, next hour we're gonna do meet and greets for Joe Jonas, you have to have the notifications on so you'll be aware that that contest is about to happen. So if they say that it's next hour, they'll usually say a time. So my local radio station usually says, oh, at 5:55 we're doing caller number 10 is gonna win meet and greets to Joe Jonas. And usually I'll put a reminder in my phone for 5:45, and I'll be sitting in my car listening to the radio station ready to call. So the reason I sit in my car instead of just listening online is because online's usually delayed about 30 seconds. So whenever I've called from listening online, I'm always delayed and I never get through as fast because I always call later than everyone else. So I'll sit in my car, and right when it comes to 5:55 and they say on the radio station, if you wanna win, blah, 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 like I'll see it coming, so I'll start ringing my phone or dialing my phone. And so the reason I do that is so that it starts ringing or like getting into the system before everyone else starts calling. Once they finish that sentence, like if you wanna win Joe Jonas meet and greets, call right now, that's when everyone starts calling. So if you start calling the beginning of that sentence, you're more likely to get into the line. What I'll do is I'll call in. If it starts ringing busy, it'll usually be like beep, beep. It'll have like a bunch of beeping and it won't sound like a dial or like a ring. I'll hang up real fast and I'll call back right away. So say if I like call the radio station real fast, I'll call it and then it'll come up that, and I'll hang up if it starts beeping, and then I'll literally keep it on this screen and keep clicking it until it rings. So once it rings, that doesn't guarantee that you're in the line. Sometimes the call will be dropped, but most of the time they'll answer and say 9. With that said, I've met multiple people from doing this. From radio stations alone, I've met Austin Mahone in 2015. It was just like an interview, listening to his music. We played Heads Up. He picked me as his partner. It was a really cool experience. It was weird that he picked me because there were so many other people he could have picked. I got really lucky when it came to that. But yeah, I won tickets to go to that, and that was really fun. And then Joe Jonas, I won meet and greets. To that very concert. It was Jingle Ball, and then when I got there was a girl that was handing out tickets for Demi Lovato because they were doing a CD meet and greet. If you would have bought her album, I think it was the first certain amount of people that bought her album got to meet her, and it was something very uncoordinated with like her, and I guess she didn't know about it, and it was just like this whole unorganized thing. But the girl had extra 2 tickets. So me and the girl that I went with, we got to meet her for free. So I literally met Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato in one day for free. And it was so cool. It was like my Camp Rock dream. I met the Chainsmokers in 2016. I called in on the radio station. I've been trying all week. I was blowing out my birthday candles. It was like 2 days after my birthday. We were finally doing like my birthday cake. And as I was blowing them out, I was calling the radio station. I remember blowing out the candles and saying in my head, I wish to meet Chainsmokers. I wish that they answer my phone. Literally right after I blowed my candles out, they answered and said like, you're a winner, blah, blah, blah. I started crying. I was freaking out. My mom was like, what? I told the lady on the radio station, she was like, no way. Oh my God, that's so cool. I still get chills when I think about it. It was the weirdest thing ever. And that's like goes along with the speaking it into existence, because I technically did that in my head and it worked. So I won a contest. It wasn't a radio contest. I wouldn't even consider it a contest. AT&T tweeted in 2017, the iHeart Summer Festival is coming to Miami in Fontainebleau Hotel. It's a bunch of like artists performing. It's gonna be a big show. They were just promoting it, and I tweeted them and I was like, that would be so cool to go. I would love to go. And so they tweeted me back, and I thought this was a prank or just a fake account. They said something along the lines of, oh, we would love for you to come, check your DMs. And I was so confused. I was thinking, why would they DM me? That makes no sense. So I checked my DMs. I was in the middle of Chipotle, and they messaged me and said, fill out this form. You're invited to the iHeart Summer Festival with Miley Cyrus, which is my favorite person in the entire world. DJ Khaled, Halsey, Backstreet Boys at the event. I saw all those people. DJ Khaled was in the crowd. He was hosting the event. I was super close to him. In this picture, it looks like I'm super close to him. I'm in his personal space. I did not mean to be that way. The way that the event worked is the hosts and all the people that worked there were like, oh, get super excited, get super close, act all crazy. It was just a TV event, so they wanted people to be crazy and act like, oh my God, a celebrity. So that's why that picture looks like that. I'm not crazy. I don't get in people's personal space. I was allowed to take that picture, so that's why that looks like that. I promise you, I am so against privacy invasion when it comes to celebrities. Don't go near their house, don't go near where they live. Only try to meet them if it's okay, if it's legal, if it's safe, all of that. So just had to clarify that. So for Jaclyn Hill, I went to the Morphe grand opening in International Mall, which is the mall that she used to work at when she wasn't famous. And so the ribbon cutting was around 10 o'clock. I forgot what day of the week it was, but I got there at around 8:30 and I was waiting in line. There was a line that was forming and everyone was just assuming that it was the line to go see her. And so I was in the line and I heard a security guard whisper, this is the line if you wanna buy stuff. And I was thinking, I can buy stuff any other day, why am I in this line? So I walked around the line and I stood by a kiosk, which was probably a foot away from where the ribbon was being put. So I was standing there and the security guard was like, you can't stand here, that you're blocking like all this stuff. And I was like, I'm looking at the kiosk because the mall was open. I was just pretending to look at the hair extensions. I was like comparing it to my hair color, playing the whole role of looking at the kiosk just to confuse him, I guess, or make it okay. So then like 10 minutes later, they start putting up the fence and I literally ran to the front of it, grabbed onto it so no one could take my spot. And I just stayed there until everyone filled up the rest of the space and I ended up being front row when other people were waiting there for hours and I got there probably 20 minutes before that. I know that sounds bad. You're probably thinking, if people were waiting there for hours, why were you taking their spot? I wasn't gonna just be like, who wants it? Because you know there's people that will lie about how long they've been there. I was one of them, but I feel bad still, but then again, you gotta do what you gotta do. This one is just luck. I just like telling the story because it's just so like, who has this luck? I go to this tea lounge, like my favorite tea lounge ever in the area. It's so like in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows about it. I was there one day with my boyfriend, turned to the left of me and Jaclyn was staring at me. And I looked at her and we like made eye contact and I was like, I knew that she knew that I knew. Does that make sense? I swear I'm not like crazy, but it was just so weird. Like my favorite place, my favorite YouTuber, like in the same place. And I met her like 2 months before that. And before that, I literally tried to meet her so many times that I couldn't. And it's just weird that I met her twice within a 2-month span. There's just so many stories that I could tell. I could go on forever. I just wanted to put those in there to tell you that all of those tips and tricks that I told you before, they work. And if you have any other questions about just concerts in general, any other questions about concerts, feel free to comment, I'll reply to you. I know so much about concerts. I just didn't want to put it all in this video because I know you guys would be sitting there for hours listening to me ramble. These are just the top tricks that have helped me out. And I get that it's luck, but the tips that I've given you, I swear that they work. I've met so many people for so many different reasons. If you guys wanted me to make like a video on radio stations, just more ways to win contests, I can do that as well. If you guys have any people that you really want to meet, like my favorite person in the world, like I said, is Miley Cyrus. I would love to meet her. If you guys have like a #1 person that you want to meet, or just people in general that you think are cool you want to meet, I would love if you guys would comment down below. I can help you out if I win tickets any other way, or if I'm going to see them and I need like a +1, I will definitely check the comment section and pick one of you guys to come with me. I would love if someone did that to me, so I would love to help you guys out in the same way. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you just want to tell me a cool story about how you met someone, please comment below. I love stories like that. This is my favorite topic ever. Hence why I'm in school for mass communications broadcast and I want to be in entertainment news. This is just my favorite thing ever, which is another reason why I made this video. But yeah, comment down below anything else you guys have to tell me, any suggestions for videos, all of that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.